Welcome back to another episode of Corey's Anime Corner. And today's anime I want to talk about is an old one. It's been around since early 90s. So I grew up watching it, not constantly, but frequently every Saturday at 3 in the morning on Toonami on Cartoon Network. The anime I'm talking about is Bleach. If no one knows what Bleach is, I'm going to talk about it and explain to you what the anime consists of. If you have seen it, please hit a like and let me know down in the comments down below what was your favorite character, what was your favorite story, character development through the series. So let's begin. So Bleach is a very it's an artistic anime depicting a high school boy and his family and how he has to deal with having the ability to see ghosts. So Ichiro, the main character, he encounters heartbreak with the passing of his mom, and from there on he has been able to see dead spirits of people around his neighborhood. His family doesn't know that, but he encounters a creature that is terrorizing a spirit, and these creatures are called Heartless, or no, Soulless, sorry, not Heartless, that's Kingdom Hearts, different thing, Soulless, and they're like monsters, but they have a huge hole where their heart would be, hence the name, they're Heartless, or Soulless. Anyway, so as he's trying to, save this one good spirit from being eaten, the creature, apparently, beats the shit out of him, and it's all about to end for Ichiro until this lady, this teenage girl, just comes in with a samurai sword and slashes the soulless creature in half and destroys it. And he realizes that she has the ability to, see demons and spirits as well. Rika? Like I said, I have a hard time pronouncing some of these names, but go as Rika. And she develops a friendship with him and realizes that he has the ability to sense demons and spirits being human. And she is a part of a organization sent from, I want to say heaven or the underworld, but purgatory. I would say purgatory. But she's part of the Soul Society Defenders. And she gets through the series, she gets attacked and she almost loses her life, and she sacrifices her own powers to give it to Ichiro to save her, and Ichiro is given the gift of being a soul reaper, someone that is entrusted and honored with the right to save people and to stop the Hollows. There we go, the Hollows. That's what you call them, the Hollows, not Heartless. Hollows. And so he, and Rika, start, going throughout the whole neighborhood and trying to stop these Hollows from attacking his city. It gets a little bit more interesting as the series progresses, where there's rumors and talks that Rika cannot be able to get back to her dimension because she has relinquished her powers to Ichiro, which made her weak, and she doesn't have enough strength or the power to jump back and forth through different dimensions. And so they send out hitmen. Well, not really hitmen, but they send out a squad of Soul Reapers to capture Rika and bring her back to the Soul Society. And Ichiro, fights desperately to, save Rika, and fails, and it ends there. Now, during that time, Ichiro has a bunch of high school friends who they start to have their own experiences with dealing with ghosts or the hollows, and so he befriends this young tall guy named Chad and Omaha? No, not Omaha. Something with the O. Anyway, this orange-haired girl. I'm just gonna say it starts with an O. God damn it, I can't remember these names. Anyway, they all start to have their own abilities to be able to see ghosts because of Ichiro. And so the series goes on, and Rika is sent back to the Soul Society for judgment. And it's up to Ichiro to stop that and save her, because he became really good friends with her. And so that was the first season. Second season, there's about 5 seasons on Netflix. There is about, I think, 3 movies, but 2 of them are only on Netflix. But anyway, so the second season, basically, Ichiro teams up with this guy who works at a little, rinky-dink supermarket store for the supernatural, and he is able to teach him the tools and the trades, how to get into the Soul Society and how to, save Rika in time. And so the second season is basically these characters. They team up and they all go to the Soul Society to save Rika in time. Before she is executed by the Soul Society for breaking the laws that were set forth as a soul protector. And so, as they enter the Soul Society, they encounter somewhat villains, I guess. But they encounter each of the 13 guard captains and lieutenants and privates. And it becomes a trial of tribulations of defeating them and moving up through the ranking system to achieve and to rescue Rika in time. And so the second season is really exciting because it's like each episode you're watching Ichiro work his hardest trying to defeat these Soul Reapers and their abilities and all that, and move one step each closer to achieving his goal. So it's a series of trials and tribulations, and so I really do like the second season. So as they finally get to the execution date, they finally were able to save her, but they find out that there's issues in the ranking system, or in the Soul Society itself. There was a rat or a yeah, it was a rat basically who was teasing, and not teasing, but like he twisted the law, the reality of a lot of people's minds onto thinking that there was an invasion of outsiders, and these outsiders are the reason why the Soul Society is being corrupted. But in retrospect, the Soul Society was being corrupted by a guy who's plotting to become the greatest Soul Reaper and master of abilities. And so that's how season 2 ends. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I mean, I'm just going like just bare minimum on details. I don't want to give away too much. Hence, I don't really like spoiling anime TV series for anyone who hasn't seen it yet. For those who have seen, you probably know what I'm talking about, or have some type of clue. But as that season ends, the third season begins with them going back to Earth, or going back to, normalcy. But yet, somehow, they still have this feeling of dread that there's evil. And there is a team of 3 who are putting the main characters into a trials and tribulations. And they figure out that the store owner of the supernatural market created these 3 beings to help Ichiro and his friends to actually move forward into discovering more about the Soul Society and these new creatures that are called Abouts. In retrospect, the Abouts are basically an immortal human being with special abilities. They can regenerate their health. They don't die. They just grow old. Well, they don't grow old. They grow old, but yet they look young on the outside. So basically, it's like vampires. So the Soul Society is now having to deal with these Abouts that are now trying to seek revenge on the Soul Society, because the Soul Society had created them and yet had disbanded them, and yet there's some revenge that the Abouts have, and they want to seek plots and vengeance to take over the Soul Society. So the third season is pretty much them trying to figure out how to stop the Abouts. And it gets to the point where the Soul Society has figured out that, Ichiro wasn't bad. He actually proved his worthiness of being a volunteer substitute Soul Society Reaper. And all his friends were looked at as heroes for saving the Soul Society in times of need. Even though they were considered enemies at the beginning, now they are considered allies. And so now it's up to the 13 captains and lieutenants and all the privates to team up and try to figure out how to stop the Abouts from destroying the Soul Society. And so it just goes on from there until the very end of season 5, where you see this new villain arise. So that's where it really ends on Netflix. So I don't know if there's more seasons to it, but I know that there's movies, so I don't know if the movies have to correlate with the series. I hope, because I haven't watched them yet, and I will, and I'll talk about it more in the next anime series channel. But what's really cool about this anime series is that they're like samurais. The Soul Society are warriors of, the 13th guards, royal guards, and they are all given katanas. But these katanas, they may look normal, but they have, they're able to infuse special abilities and special moves to defend and to defeat their enemies. Senpaktos, or Sanpaktos, sorry. That's what you call their swords. And so they have abilities. Ichiro is able to actually get one that looks a lot like a meat cleaver. Sort of like Sephiroth's sword, but not too long. More like Cloud's sword from the Final Fantasy series. And then, but when he goes into Super Saiyan mode, I call it Super Saiyan mode because like everything just becomes like lightning and everything and bright. So when he goes into Super Saiyan mode, he's able to tap into his Sanpakto and get like this huge freaking katana, like Sephiroth's katana, and to wield and to deliver, deadly force and power. And so all the other lieutenants and the captains, they all have their own certain traits and their own skills on their Sanpaktos. Rika's brother, he has one where his blade basically turns into a whole bunch of like pink flowers and disperse, and then the energy comes back on the enemy and slashes them all up into little tiny cuts, and eventually the enemy's defeated. There's another one, I think it's the captain of Squad 10. He has the ability of free ice, and so he can create an ice dragon with his Sanpakto. And there's another one, the R&D department captain is able to create paralyzing, delusional, dream state attacks, sort of like Freddy Krueger. Another one is able to stop time, so slow time down and be able to be fast within that time. Other ones is able to, every time he slices you, he adds 10 times the weight of amount that he sliced you. So if he sliced you 10 times, 10 times 10 is 100, so you're 100 times weighted down by the force. That's pretty cool. Anyway, I really like this anime series because it has to deal with a lot of action, has to deal with a lot of story, character development, it has to do with a lot of sword fighting and friendship, and like it has to do with a lot of the unknown. I mean, is there a secret society out there that is watching us, and protecting us from the hollows? When we die, do we go to the soul society? Do we become a soul reaper ourselves, or do we just, it is a fascinating series. It's the intros and the outros are really musically scored well, and animation is really clean. It's basically, I would say it's like Dragon Ball Z, where each episode you're nail biting what's going to happen, and then you have to wait till the next episode. So you're always like itching for more, and that's what it really got to me. Because like I would watch an episode, and then all of a sudden it's just like a cliffhanger, and it's like I can't leave it like that. I have to keep watching, and so it's a really good anime that kept my attention and kept me going forward to find out the truth and finding the end of what happens. So it's really rewarding. But yes, you can go on Funanimation, you can go on Crunchyroll, and I believe you can go on YouTube and Netflix, and you can all watch the Bleach series. Now on certain streaming network channels, you can find the actual Japanese version. Or on Netflix, you can find the dub version, which is English with no subtitles. Or you can go on Funanimation where it's Japanese but with English subtitles. Or I think there's another streaming service that you can watch it in English but it has Japanese subtitles, and then vice versa. So it opens doors for those who are either sub or dub. My preference, I really don't care. I don't mind reading. I don't mind listening and hearing, you know, a different language. That's how I come to learn certain words and certain phrases, is by hearing instead of reading, because that's how it works. My mind works. So I don't really mind listening to the Japanese versions of any anime, because that's what anime is all about. It's Japanese. It's Japanese cartoons. Now the dub, you know, some people, they always complain that, oh, you know, that voice shouldn't be matched with that character. I don't care. All I care about is watching the series and following it through. So, but yeah. Either way, it's a really highly recommended anime series. I know it's kind of old. It was released back when Sailor Moon had just hit the market in the North America sector. So I mean, it has age, but it's one of those animes that you've probably seen it but don't remember it. But then once you watch it, you're like, oh yeah, I've seen this before. But it's a really good anime series. But I am really excited to actually watch the movies on Netflix. I might do that tonight, might watch one, or I might watch throughout the week, who knows. But if I do, I will definitely give you guys another anime video and talk about it, as little as I can. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope all you guys enjoy anime as much as me, and stay healthy and safe out there. And until the next Anime Corner series episode, I have to leave it here. But thank you for supporting my channel, especially the anime series. I have a lot more anime to talk about, but due to my time and other matters at hand, it's been kind of ups and downs. I haven't been really able to create a solid time period or block to do to talk about anime or to do any other YouTube stuff. So in due time. So I apologize. Try my best. I'm only human. Okay? But as always, I will see you guys and gals in the next one. And hopefully I will be able to bring you more content and more happiness of the love and the inspiration of watching anime, like I have been given. So, till next time, it's Corey. Sign up.